Welcome, this is the 9-month and 24-day check-in. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing how to detach from nicotine when it comes to the mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional states of being. So starting off with the mental, how do you detach from nicotine mentally? Well, prior to quitting nicotine, you make that decision to quit nicotine, which you use your mental state of being to use by having the thoughts that you're telling yourself, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for a new chapter, I'm ready to now experience new things mentally, I'm ready to expand mentally, I'm ready to apply my mental strengths and my mental abilities to new things, and I'm ready to mentally grow from being in a mental pattern of continuing using nicotine and just doing it to feel secure mentally. I'm going to be having these thoughts of how much prosperous, how much more in a better mental state of being I will be existing in once I quit the nicotine. So just getting yourself into the loop of having these thoughts of growth and not so many thoughts of not wanting to be vulnerable or not wanting to be open to experience. And this will kind of help you to loosen up mentally to getting into the rhythm of, detaching from nicotine. What I like to do is, up until your last hit, you are mentally preparing and telling yourself, I'm ready for this. And even if you're in the upcoming moments of you getting ready to stop using nicotine or implementing moderation or whatever it is you choose to do, and even if you're having that same feeling I don't want to continue to do this, this is just someone put me out of my pain, all that stuff that you're feeling, don't let it to discourage you mentally to where you want to never experience that again. It's about knowing that you hit rock bottom and knowing that you're telling yourself at that moment in time, all right, this is what I have to earn. This is what I have to look forward to. Mentally, I have a journey ahead of me that's going to start once I change my behavior. And this will get you started on to mentally detaching from nicotine. Throughout that, you'll realize that a lot of it is mental. As long as you have your mental state of being strong and that you remind yourself of being mentally stable and just being a mental anchor for yourself and a mental rock that's not moved or not affected by anything, that's going to help you and benefit you in the journey of going forward. And after that point in time, you can experience after the time that you actually quit, you'll start to experience thoughts of relapse. But with these thoughts of relapse, you always have that mental strength that you're bringing into the situation, bringing that in with you in the scenario to where you know that you can tell yourself, no, not right now. This isn't the part that I'm going to play. I'm going to continue to maintain and be strong and to choose to continuously make the decision to detach from nicotine, thus allowing you to really go on and live in a more mental free state of being where you don't have to worry about that. The more and more times that you have these thoughts of relapse, but you put it out of its misery and you end those thoughts, you're gonna be able to experience those thoughts at a less percentage rate, and thus allowing you to experience more mentally free existences. And then, of course, if you ever are around nicotine or it gets offered to you, you know that you've made the decision to detach from nicotine, and all that you would be doing if you did end up relapsing or did make the decision to use again would be on you, and it's up to you, but it might put you back into that same cycle that you were into before. So it's always just about being aware of what your actions are going to do, especially when you think about what it can do to your mental state of being, because it's important to prioritize this when that's what's going to be leading you in the strength, the day-to-day battle with detaching from nicotine. So yeah, with the thoughts of relapse and stuff like that, it really helps to just be strong the whole time and not take a victim mentality. You're not really sacrificing anything. You're just returning to how you were before you had the addiction, right? So that's for mentally. Physically, how do you detach from nicotine? Well, this goes without saying, but of course, stopping the use or implementing moderation, and then down the road, stopping the use, whether it be to, and that decision is upon you. And as well, physically, ways that you detach from nicotine is up until when you're about to quit. What I did was, take that last hit and just chuck it or throw it out. Do whatever you have to do to actually detach from it. Don't have it around you because it's just going to make you want to go back to it. And if you go a certain amount of time, then you can see it and you can be around it and still not want to have the physical urge to do it or the physical urge to surround yourself with others that may be partaking in this action. So it's about at the beginning, you have to make sure that you are protecting your physical state of being by making sure you adhere to what your plan is, making sure you're in rhythm with what your other states of being are saying, making sure that you're not, oh, I just feel bad this one day, I just need to stop and go and get a vape or go and have a drink or whatever substance that you want to possibly detach from because you don't have a reason for continuing use. Well, it's not about validating that physical feeling just because you think that in the moment it will help you to not be stressed or to make you feel better or whatnot. Have that that push and that urge to see through to a time of when you're no longer experiencing those physical urges, because it will come and it will be just as if you never had the addiction. Speaking from personal experience as well, myself, you don't even realize it. It just becomes so repetitive to you, as where before the addiction was repetitive and that's why the addiction was formed. It's in the reverse way, which it's more momentum towards not wanting to partake in the said action that you were wanting to eliminate. So that's how you can detach from it physically. A lot of ways that you can detach from it physically are also about like getting exercise and making sure that you are just pumping out the blood and making sure that, because whenever you do end up quitting, you want to just get all that excess nicotine or whatever the drug had done and whatever the effects it had physically on you, you want to just kind of detox from that. So it's about definitely exercise is a great one. And of course, your appetite and what you put into your body is going to be a big one. So definitely be conscious about that. That's actually one of the ways that helped me to get off nicotine. So physically, definitely a way to detach from nicotine, I would have to say, is completely around the time that you are about to quit, or that you did quit, or that you need some help. Change your appetite. Look up what the best foods are for, and I've talked about in this video on my channel, I think it had to have been about 2 months ago. I can't remember exactly what it was or when it was or what the title was, but I did discuss a few foods that I used afterwards, and it was kiwis, baby colorful carrots, which were good. That was a good snack. You can chew on gum if you want. You don't have to, but then you also want avocados, you want fruits as well. Oranges are a big one. Oranges will get your vitamin C replenished like that. It'll give you a boost. It'll just give you a rush that you can use to get through the moment, and you can end up pushing through just because you have that physical boost of energy, and that those foods will not only give you energy, but they'll also heal you and help you to detox whatever you're going through. So that was a huge way. Definitely look into that if you're wanting to detach from nicotine. And then when it comes to spiritually, how do you detach from nicotine? Well, spiritually, you have to know that the way you came into the world, you weren't addicted to nicotine. So all you're doing is weeding out something that no longer serves you, and to be able to put yourself in a spiritually free state of being. Because if you feel as if you have no control over your actions for whatever amount of time it has been, for however long it has been that you have been continuing those said patterns, however long it's been, you have been, putting yourself into a stuck scenario, right? We can call it, you were stuck in not being able to change. You were stuck in just wanting to stay content with your actions at the time. But whatever it was, this could have held you back spiritually. So it's about knowing that once you do start the journey of anything, that's putting you on a spiritual journey as well. So that's something you can always look forward to. And it's not necessarily that, the nicotine was absolutely affecting your spirituality, because like I've talked about before, there's no direct correlation with drug use and spirituality. It has to do with how you use it and the ways that you use it, because you can, like it said, you don't know exactly what your actions are doing in the spiritual realm. So every time you light a cigarette or whatnot, you are burning whatever molecule or spirit you are burning. You're actually, it's a ritual that you partake in, burning something and then doing it on a continuous amount of time, and also doing it in private at times, or if you don't have that sense of need to use in privacy, or it doesn't really matter what you do. If you use in public, it's the same thing. It's still a ritual, and it plays out as your footprints in your experiences. So it builds a resistance, and it could possibly be keeping you spiritually limited or spiritually immature and not being able to grow and mature spiritually. So that's something to look forward to, and know that the ways that you can detach spiritually from nicotine is to know that now that you have quit, you automatically are not giving up your spiritual power anymore to a physical form of feeling good for a certain specific amount of time, or just, you're no longer doing that. You're no longer just saying, don't worry about that, or don't worry about this state of being, don't worry about that state of being. You're no longer doing that, so you're able to embrace your journey and your spiritual journey much more now that you do set out to do what it is that your purpose is, and that is what you decide to do and what is right for yourself. So that's how you can detach from nicotine spiritually. And then we have emotionally, how can you detach from nicotine? Well, you can detach from nicotine by already having the feelings of that you're ready and that you want to quit and that you want to experience the sober reality, or just a nicotine-free reality, or a substance-free reality. Whatever that substance is, you can fill in for yourself. As long as you are embracing and you are ready to experience those new emotions and those new experiences that are so just make you feel a lot more alive than when you were under, you know, emotional bondagement with an addiction or depression or whatever it is, embrace that and know that the way that you're feeling during your addiction is going to absolutely change, because that's what you want to do. You know that that's truly what you want out of that for yourself. So when you think about applying this, be content, and I mean content in the right way, with your decision to quit nicotine or quit whatever substance or implement moderation to whatever substance, because you know that it's about to change, whatever you've been experiencing. You've been so dependent emotionally on nicotine or whatever substance it is that you use to feel good, and so now you're going to be getting emotional fulfillment from all sorts of things around you. So that's how you can detach from it, by knowing that it has no hold on you and no effect on you once it is out of your system. In fact, the only time it really would do that is when you're using it. So that's something that you can look forward to, and to know that this is a way that you can detach from nicotine emotionally, by completely purging all the emotions that you have associated with your nicotine addiction, anything you've ever felt. A lot of times in the time period that you don't use, you will have memories and stuff, and then you will remind yourself that you used at the time, but you'll feel a sense of peace and you'll feel a sense of emotional fulfillment, because it doesn't have that control over you anymore, and you're able to experience the raw emotions. And emotionally, to be able to step into that reality and to live in the emotional state of being in such a way where you're no longer dependent as much as you were before, is going to give you a better sense of emotional state of being and a better sense of emotional stability that you can use to experience whatever it is that you want to experience after that point. It's about being aware, though, and being emotionally aware. And the way that I detached from nicotine emotionally was to know that this wasn't me. This nicotine addiction wasn't me. This isn't part of me. It's something that I chose to do, and it's something that someone else had sold out there. And this is the product. This isn't just nicotine itself. This is the vape products. I had to look at it as I was choosing someone else's reality and someone else's, what they wanted to put onto me, over my emotional state of being. And that was something that I was fed up with doing, and fed up with having those emotions stuck to me all the time. I didn't want to experience that at all. And now that I am detached from nicotine emotionally, I can experience emotional fulfillment out of other things in life, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for supporting. Do whatever you can do to support me. I appreciate that. That's going to be it for the 9-month and 24-day check-in.